Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. Welcome to the Options Moneymaker and New Cycle Trading Q&A. We're happy to have you all here with us. I have with me Kristen Kane. So I am Erin Rumley, and we have Kristen with us. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Erin. Hello, everyone.
Kristen is the primary voice that you hear in the live trading room every day. She helps guide all of our traders, our Aurora subscribers, through the signals that present themselves throughout the day and what actions to take on each trade, how to adjust risk, exit the trade, and make sure your profit targets and your stops are in the right place. We're also fortunate enough that Kristen spends time each month to host Back to Basics, which for anybody that needs a refresher course on signal trading, that's what she does. She goes through the signals of the 3 A's and the 4 A's, which we call the A's, the A system, and then also the PBs, the PB3, PB35, and PB13s. And then those recordings are also available to our Aurora subscribers. She also encourages 4 steps for learning to trade, trade to earn. Learning to trade and trade to earn have been our motto really since the beginning of Options Moneymaker. So learn how to enter a trade. This is learning what your signals are, where you're entering the position based on a long signal or a short signal, if it's a PB3, a PB35, or if it's an A signal, or even a fractal. And then learn how to manage your trade. Make sure your stops and your profit targets are in the right locations, and know what your exit rules are. So if your signal goes away and it is not there at the beginning of the next bar, evaluate exiting your trade. And then learn how to manage your DOM. DOM management is very important. It's not so important what platform you use to trade on, but that you are an expert on whatever platform you do choose to trade on. So we trade on Infinity Futures, and so we have some education that goes along with that on how to manage the DOM. Make sure that you have Auto Center unchecked. Make sure that your cursor is hovering over the buy market or sell market, depending on what signal that you are expecting. If you have slippage, looking to adjust your bracket order so that you're looking for profit and stop loss based on the open of the bar, not based on your fill price. And then of course, if you're in 2 trades at once with different prices, learning how to manage those trades separately on your DOM as well. And then the most important, which a lot of traders struggle with, is when to stop trading. This is the point in your day where you are profitable, you've met or exceeded your goals, and you're looking to stop trading to avoid giving back. This is also a point on a day where the market is not friendly. And instead of sitting here all day fighting that unfriendly market, you decide to stop, to walk away, to live to trade another day. And as always, we recommend starting in sim, start your learning in sim, and then switch to live. When you start trading futures or options, when you start trading in general, you will make mistakes. It's just a natural course of events. And it's so much easier mentally to make those in sim, to learn from them, to be prepared for if you accidentally make them in live before you switch to live. Anything to add, Kristen?
No, perfect.
And then coming soon, we have a few things coming soon. The Aurora trading system, we have the Aurora PB indicator update. So we're not updating the original Aurora trading system. So for those of you that use the Aurora trading system, maybe on shorter time frames or use it differently, it's not going to change. We don't want to take that away from you. But what we are going to do, and for those of you that have joined us in the live trading room the past couple weeks, you've previewed the new version of the Aurora PB indicator. This will allow us to provide alerts for alignment. That has been a very highly requested feature. So there will be alerts for alignment between the 3-minute, the 5-minute, and the 3-minute and the 10-minute. And we will be releasing that update a week from today, next Wednesday. And we will also, on that Wednesday, be providing a webinar for Aurora subscribers to go through adding it to your chart and going over what you'll be looking at, what each of the signals mean, and how to set up alerts so you're all ready to go on Thursday. If you're not able to join us next Wednesday, don't worry. As always, our webinars will be recorded, and again, it will be sent out to Aurora subscribers. We also have upcoming the combo strategy training. This is with the PBs and A's all combined together. For those of you that have difficulty on which you want to trade, we have found a combo strategy that is very profitable, where you combine them together, trading PBs and A's. And we'll have a training on that, on exactly what that looks like. And then something new we'll talk about as well is in the upcoming months, we will be having a futures trading mastermind course. This will be advanced trading techniques that we will go through. This is not something that, if you're brand new to futures trading, that you probably want to dive into just yet. Don't worry, it will be recorded and available for you in the future. But it is a futures trading mastermind course. Again, we'll go over some more advanced skills and some market specific actions that we can take, that we have been taking in our live account, specifically on oil. There is a little bit of a strategy that we have been using there, where it's just how we treat the dome and how we treat a trade, not anything different from the signals and following the signals, but how we treat a very specific trade. So that will be coming up in the next few months, but we have the first two ahead of that, with the PB indicator update on next Wednesday, and then the combo strategy training coming in with the next couple of weeks. And if you have any questions, if you don't have Aurora and you want to learn more about Aurora, please visit us at newcycletrading.com/services. So I'm going to switch over to a chart just to give you a little bit of a preview here. So this is my NQ chart. We have the new Aurora PB up here at the top. It's on a 1-minute chart. So each bar will appear, a new bar will appear every minute. And it's showing you exactly what is happening on the lower chart. So this is still your 3, 5, 10 that you're used to. The top area up here, you can actually see it. It says PBA 3-minute. So this is a 3-minute PBA. And then we have CXA 5-minute CXA here, which will match down here. And then a PBA 10-minute. So PBA 10-minute, which again will match here. And each minute that goes by, you will see it matches exactly what's in the lower charts. This helps us see that alignment that's going on for our entries. And then the next thing we're looking at is the actual entry being valid. So these signals here, the 3-minute, the 35, and the 13, are appearing on the specific bar that is the open of the bar. So you will only see this PB3, which is what the 3 is, appear every 3 bars if it's valid. So you'll see it on the 33 bar. It didn't come on the 32 bar because that is not a valid 3-minute bar. 3-minute bar starts on 33. So they're only going to appear on the first minute of a 3-minute bar, or the first minute of a 5-minute bar, as this 35, the alignment here, shows up on the 1835 1-minute bar. And so your alerts are going to be aligned with the first minute of the PB3 and 35. Now they may come on 59 seconds into that first minute, but they will only come on within that first bar. So if you see that signal right at bar open, that is a valid trade. You don't have to worry about knowing which of these bars are the next 3-minute bar or the next 5-minute bar. And then again, the same story with the 13. And of course, we'll teach all of this in the training. I know I'll get questions. What are these X's? These X's are marking in the middle here. They're marking where there is no longer alignment between the 3-minute and the 5-minute. And when it happens in the open of the bar, and then when it prints a valid exit, a valid close of no signal on both of them. The 10-minute is also showing when there is no signal at the open of the bar, and then when the signal has stopped, when it has printed a signal stopped, coming right after a signal. So the 1629 bar is saying, yes, we did not print a signal on the 1620 bar for the 10-minute. So when you see a new signal, it is a valid entry. And that's the same on the 3-minute chart. We have an X here saying that there's no signal that printed on the 35 bar. So if the 36 bar came on with the blue bar, you know it's a valid entry. This helps avoid any confusion with whether the blank is actually a printed blank, a printed signal stopped on the lower bars. So again, this is just a preview of what we're seeing here. There will be a little bit different settings for oil because oil uses different time frames. Just to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty with all of this, is TradingView has a little bit of an issue looking at other time frames when they aren't divisible by each other. So we were running into an issue with the 3-minute, looking at a 5-minute chart. It actually wasn't grabbing the data every so often. And so because of that, we have the 1-minute chart for NQ to rectify any of those issues. Now, oil, we use a 5-minute, 10-minute, and 15-minute chart, which are all nicely, the 5-minute is nicely divisible by 10 and 15. So we don't have that issue with TradingView on there. So we're able to have this indicator only on the 5-minute without the 1-minute up above. And again, you can see it's still showing the alignment, the 5-minute PBA, 10-minute CXA, and 15-minute PBA for those of you that trade oil. We have this set up to say short and long instead of the PB3 and PB35 and PB13s because we are on different time frames. That PB3, 35, and 13 will only show up if your time frames are the 3, the 5, and the 10-minute. Steve, absolutely. So Kristen and I have been having a conversation about the market in general with what we're referring to as the summer market, really the sleepy summer market. I know there's action going on in it, but it's just not producing the strong profits that we're used to. We also saw this happen last year, and I've seen it happen in prior years. Summers can just be a different type of market. And then we start to hit the fall time and really winter and Q1 seem to accelerate those profits again. So yes, we're not seeing those strong, as many 4-digit profit days. They are still in there, just not as many as that we normally see really in that Q1, Q2, and even really towards the end of the year. Kristen, I actually joked about we're just going to shut down next year from August, from what is it, July to end of August, just
Yeah, I was thinking August, September. We'll just,
yeah.
you know.
But the good news is that still overall profitable signals, profitable strategies, just not those 4-digit numbers that we would like to see. We want to see more of those consistent 4-digit profit days. I would love to see them. I'm anticipating them making a return this fall and winter as we get away from the sleepy summertime. Debbie, I'm glad you're saying that. Yes, it is exciting. I know Kristen's excited about it. So am I. Yes, there will still be alerts on the right-hand side. So you will still see the alerts. Whether you need them or not, I will leave that up to you. I personally think it's nice to see at what time the signal came on, especially because we take signals within the first 3 seconds. So if you're not sure how far into a bar you are, without looking at the countdown clock, the alert is going to tell you. And so every time one of these signals shows up, they will show up in the alert log as well. I don't have them coded the way that they would look pretty quite yet. But here is an example of it. It says 3-minute PBA and 5-minute CXA signal aligned. And so that's what it's talking about. So yes, you will have alerts that show up in your alert log when these entry signals appear. And then something you may still want to do is have your original alerts for Aurora for those signals stopped, any of those. You're still able to keep these Aurora alerts, even if you don't have Aurora on your chart, your active chart. Your alerts are actually account-based rather than chart-specific, at least for right now. But since I said that out loud, TradingView is really good at changing things on me as soon as I commit to something. So as of this second, they are not chart-based, they are account-wide. And that's why if you decide to change your alert settings and you want to show more than just the current symbol, you can have alerts from oil appear on your NQ chart. Oh, absolutely. We can go through. We have a question here about showing how to set up alerts. So if you left us and came back, or you're brand new, and we did come out with an update, and the new Aurora PBs will have the similar alert settings where it's a one-click setting for alerts, which is wonderful when we switch contracts. So instead of creating multiple alerts for each indicator, you're creating one. So we can use the original Aurora as an example. On the 5-minute CXA, you can either right click on the CXA button, or there's a variety of ways to get to the alert option. You can hover over the Aurora system name, click more, and add alert. And it comes up with a shortened window than you're used to. And you just want to make sure it says any alert function call. This drop-down menu, you can use the new bar alert, but any alert function call is actually going to alert you for short, long, signal stopped, and flatten. And then you would just click create. Now, let's say you don't care about the signal stopped or flatten. Then in the Aurora system, you can go to settings and you can uncheck flatten and you can uncheck signal stopped. And then you go to create your alert, and it would only alert you the long and short entries. Whatever you want to be alerted, you need to change your settings first before you create your alert. TradingView has it so once you create your alert, it takes a snapshot of your settings. If you change your settings in the future, it will not update your alert. So this is if you want to change anything, you go into your settings first, and then you go to create your alert. And that's the same for, we have it on the 3A and 4A as well. Just creates them all for you. And if you don't want to be alerted about 3A entries, you can uncheck that before you create your alerts. And we will have something very similar. Let's see what I have set up. You can check what you want to be displayed and what you want to be alerted down here. So then that way, when you do go to create your alert, it alerts you based on what settings you have.
We have a question out here about the recordings that we have for all of our alerts and indicator setup. And so as we launch and release our new indicator, we'll also be doing an update to the materials that are available when you first sign up. And then of course, you'll have access to those. We'll send out, and if you go out to our website, click on the links, the instructions and the directions on how to set all of these up will be refreshed and updated, of course.
Absolutely, because I can tell you within days of recording the original video and the original settings, TradingView moved things around and changed things. So it needs an update anyway, but we've been holding off the update until this release so that it's all in one place for you. And then Rod, absolutely. So the alert setting I just showed was for the 5-minute chart. You would repeat the process for the same process for the 10-minute and the 3-minute chart. And if you are also interested in oil, then you would go to your oil chart and create your alerts on there as well. Absolutely, Debbie. Yes, we will take the time to do that new instruction video. And then again, next Wednesday, when we launch this new Aurora indicator, we will launch it earlier in the day. And then that evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we will go over the easiest way to put it on your chart, the easiest series of steps, the least amount of steps to get this chart set up like we have. You can add it earlier than that, but I highly recommend if you're not an expert in TradingView, that you just wait till that night or till you get the recording, and we'll just take you through the steps, make sure everything is set up, take you through how to set up alerts for this. You will not have to change anything on your 3, 5, 10. So that's important, is that we don't want you to adjust anything to the 3, 5, 10. All we're doing is creating this new 1-minute chart up here and creating an alert for it. So don't do more work than you need to do. We will give you access to it earlier, but then my advice is to wait until that webinar where we can walk you through adding this. It'll only take a few minutes. There will probably be questions, so maybe 5 minutes. And then we'll talk through reading the signals, and we'll make sure your alerts are set up as well.
There's a question about our Back to Basics week. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about that and reiterate. Next week, we usually try to do a Back to Basics week, the first or second week of the month with the holiday and the kind of short week. We're actually going to be launching that next week. So if you are newer to trading Aurora, or if you're just interested in, that free trial in the live trading room that's available, just and want to peek in, next week would be a great time for you to just learn those basics. And the training is free online for the different entries into the Aurora system. But what we will do in the live trading room on Monday and Tuesday is focus just on the A trades. And so we'll really slow down. We'll really talk about the conditions of the market before a new bar turns over so that we can really prepare for what might be coming. When we do that, when we get into the trade, we'll again slow down, talk about how to manage the trade, when to lock in some profits. And then we will also do some dome demonstrations as well. So I'll have a sim dome up and I will show you how we handle some of that dome management. Sometimes those are, really neat scenarios just happen to pop up and we capture a recording of some really interesting dome management strategies that people have found helpful. So Monday and Tuesday will be our A trades. Those are the 3A and 4A on the 5-minute and the 10-minute. We'll sprinkle in a few fractals in there as well. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we will just talk about the PB trades, and it'll be perfect timing because I will have the new indicator on the charts in the live trading room. And so I will really be emphasizing how to identify the signals on the new chart, which will be a little bit of a precursor to helping you get that all set up then Wednesday night, and you'll be ready to go Thursday morning, hopefully, with that new indicator, and you can trade some PBs with me as well. And then Friday, we'll just kind of pull it all together and talk about whatever comes up. But that's a great time to just for all of us to slow down, really help those folks who are newer to Aurora, or even if you're experienced and you just want a refresher, maybe you have one of those burning questions that you haven't asked for a while. That's a great time for you to ask lots and lots of questions. And Steve M is asking, are you going to record it? Of course we will, Steve. We will record that. And those back to basic recordings then become available for all of our subscribers.
Deborah's asking, for those of us who trade shorter time frames, 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 second, can we use the alerts at the top without having a 5 minute or 10 minute chart open? So the only rule with this indicator is whichever time frames you are trading, this has to be on the lowest time frame. So when we use it on oil, it's on the 5 minute. It only can look to higher time frames. It can't look to lower time frames. So if you're trading a 5 second chart along with a 1 minute and a 3 minute, you'd want to have this on the 5 second chart. And as long as it's divisible in with a 5 second, 1 minute, 3 minute, it is, then you won't run into any issues. And I'm not sure if that's a typo or not, but regardless, yes, you can do that. So I was evaluating other timeframes, and TradingView, really it's just that 3 minute that we enjoy trading that causes an issue. Most all the other timeframes are somewhat divisible. I guess if you get up to 45 minutes, depending on what you're looking for. But with the timeframes that we generally trade with, even if you're looking at the 30 minute, the 5 minute, the 30 minute, and the 1 hour, those are all divisible by each other. And you just want to use the shortest of the timeframes to put the indicator on, because it can only look to higher timeframes. You will have an error if you try to look to lower timeframes. So yes, so if you like to watch the 5 second while trading the 1 or 3 minute, I would suggest having a setup similar to what I have on oil, where you have the 5 second. Also, side note, TradingView made an update where you can adjust how much room you want to give each chart. So if you're just really looking for little things on the 5 second, maybe you just want to give it this much space and have the alignment indicator down here, and then have your 1 minute and your 3 minute. You could also put the alignment indicator on your 1 minute chart and only have it show 2 of the time frames, because you can uncheck the other time frames. So you could say that you don't want to display a 3rd time frame, and I'll see about if we can go to seconds here. But if you're just looking at 1 minute or 3 minute, then your first time frame you would change to 1 minute, second time frame you would change to 3 minute, and you can have it on your 1 minute chart, and you don't need it on your 5 second chart.
Yeah, so Debbie, these indicators, as Aaron was demonstrating, can work on different time frames. When we first rolled Aurora, and we were primarily focused on the PB trades, we did get a lot of feedback from our community that looking across the multiple time frames at different places was challenging. And it definitely is challenging. Since we've started using the single indicator, the alert, the place to look for an entry into a PB 35 or a PB 13, which those are really, but even the PB 3s, to ensure that you don't have conflict on the 5 minutes, they just have been so much easier to identify. And not that I would ever want anyone to leave the live trading room, but you don't have to be in the live trading room. If this indicator gives you the skill for you to trade whenever, wherever, and not have to just be dependent on my help, because those indicators are so straightforward now, that's a win, right? Our goal, as Erin said in the beginning, we're here to help you learn to trade to earn. And the live trading room is focused all about really helping improve your skill at recognizing those signals and entering the trades. Now, the discipline of following the system, that's a little bit more on you, but hopefully through the live trading room, and as we talk about preparing for trades and looking at the conditions and kind of anticipating what might be coming so that you could get ready for it, that's what we spend a lot of time in the live trading room talking about. And with these new indicators, I don't know if that will be as necessary for folks once they have some experience under their belts. Not that I'm going anywhere. I'll be there every day.
Exactly. They'll come back for back to basics.
There you go.
So you can see a good example is this is flashing on and off on the 3-minute chart, and you can see that it's happening here also as it's flashing on and off. Now, what's really cool is that where it closed in the last minute, it actually wasn't on there at that minute, and then now it's back, and we'll see if it ends up closing here. So that's why we want to make sure to mark where it's actually the close of the bar, because you can see the signal did come back and it's still here, and we have about 30 seconds left to see if it ends up printing. And by signal, I mean just that the PBA is still printing there rather than the signal stopping.
Yeah, this is a great example. We've seen this a number of times over the last couple of weeks in the live trading room, where there's not a reentry, because although there might have been a break on a 1-minute bar at some point, the 3-minute bar closed. And so that's one of the reasons, although the new indicator is the one place to look for your entries, I do still like to have the Aurora system indicators on the individual charts, just for that visual kind of confirmation.
And so the signal ended up printing there, and you can see it's right there. And now at the beginning of this bar, it's gone away. But this is also good. Let's say you were in a PB 35. You're still holding because the 5-minute is still printing. Hasn't told you to exit yet. Now, if the 5-minute goes away at the first minute of a 5 or a 3-minute bar, you'll see these gray pluses appear to let you know that that's a bar that you should take action on if it happens at the open of the bar. Basically, if any of these signals, if any of these red labels, blue labels, or gray pluses come on right when a bar starts printing, that's a bar you want to take action on. There's going to be exceptions to that. If you're still in a trade, this doesn't know if you've hit 10 points or not. But for the most part, that's what you're looking for. And that's how easy we wanted to make it. All right, we don't have any other questions out here right now. We'll give it another minute and see if anybody else has any questions. I'm very excited for the release of this, to get this into your hands. I know Kristen has loved having it.
I have. I think most of the people who are on the call who are also in the live trading room also know that I have loved having it. I've been quite vocal.
Our traders like having it too. They're always looking for something to streamline their trading, and that's essentially what this is. I'm also excited to have the combo strategy coming up soon. It's another variety. I know if you're a regular in the live trading room, you know that there is a variety of ways that you can trade Aurora. We profile one little piece of it, but as you've heard, other people look at different time frames, shorter time frames, longer time frames. So we're showing you the combo strategy, just another way that you can trade. Still a great profitable strategy. This is not saying that you shouldn't trade PBs or you shouldn't trade A's. We're doing all of this research to figure out and help you know what to trade and when. So we love our Aurora system. Now what we're doing is fine tuning what to trade when to really take advantage of the profit opportunity.
And I know we've had a couple of people in the live trading room. Our data trackers are phenomenal. There are these amazing data collection spreadsheets that Erin has created, which allow us to break down every one of our trade strategies across any time period and even on certain days, and assess what the averages are. We have, I think, over 225 days of data or something like that for our PB strategy. We have over 120 days of data on these particular trackers for our A strategy. And so as we collect more and more data, what you see is the averages, start to just become more and more consistent. And so if we go back and we look at our averages, we can get a feel for, well, how do A trades act for the most part during these time frames, or how does a combination of a PB3 and a 4A work? We can actually start pulling some of that data together and share that with you. We can look at them during the live trading room. We can look at them, break that down. That is absolutely what the live trading room is for. So please, if you're in the live trading room and you're interested in seeing any of that breakdown, more than happy to share that with you. And I know we have a couple of folks in the live trading room that have kind of defined their trading day based on some of that analysis we've done.
The amount of data we have is just so valuable to be able to look at it and know, we don't like trading FOMC days, but looking at the whole week, what days are the best to trade, what time frames for specific days are the best to trade. We have all of that data, and we're happy to do any combination of research for you when you're in the live trading room. Ronald's asking, can you please explain how you are using the AO indicator? So we've had the AO as part of our group of signals really for quite some time here. For me, it gives me a feel of how the market is behaving. You can use the AO as well to look at different. Elliott wave is based off of a lot of what the AO is doing. So it's not specific to our signals, but it's something that we like to keep on a chart to give us an idea of what is going on.
We have a couple of signals like that. You can see on the 5-minute chart, there's a green M kind of in the middle there, right there, and then a little bit over to the left as well. Those are momentum signals from our AES strategy. The Aurora system is our 3rd generation of training strategies that we've released, each one containing the previous, but yet improving and building on. when we were trading AES just before we launched Aurora, we had kind of set a daily profit goal and a max loss stop for the day. And we were really proud of that. And we then improved that when we launched Aurora. So we don't necessarily use the AES signals to trade Aurora anymore. They're embedded, they are helpful. They helped us build the PB and A strategy. But those momentums are counter trend signals that I love having on my charts, just to give me a sense of what might I be preparing for the next bar. It helps me set up for my trade. And that's kind of the same thing that I know I oftentimes will look at the AO and just get a feel for what's happening in the past to help me prepare for what trade I might be getting into.
And AES is actually what's creating these colored bars in here, which are part of the 3A and 4A alignment that we're looking for. And then piggybacking on your comment about momentum, our prop trader on oil actually takes some of the momentum trades as well. So just because we don't have AES up and talking about all the other signals, it's because they're really embedded in what we're currently trading as well. And then, yeah, Deborah is asking if I can explain how to interpret the AO. So we'll just look at the AO here. So a very basic of what the AO is green, prices moving higher. Red, prices or really momentum is moving lower. So let's see, I have lots of things on this chart. So you can see here, green, price overall moving higher, and then we switch to red, price moving lower. And that's generally the basics of the AO. Green means price goes up, red price goes down. When you cross the 0 line, you see there's generally an acceleration then to that upside, that momentum continues. And when you cross the 0 line to the downside, you also see that momentum lower. I'm not sure if we have one of those right now. And then AO can also be used to help identify the an Elliott wave. Elliott wave is in you can have like 1 wave up and then 2 wave down. 2 is usually choppy. 3 is usually a pretty good strong wave, and then you have 4, which is really choppy sideways. Usually you have to have some sort of retracement, and then 5 moves higher than 3, and then everything in the opposite direction. And so the AO could help you. Usually when you have strong peaks, that's usually what you're looking for is a 3, and then or a C. You also have ABCs. I am not the person to teach Elliott wave. I should have probably prefaced this, but that's just kind of the overall of what you can use the AO with as well. But very basically, momentum's moving higher. When you see the green, momentum's moving lower with the red, and generally price seems to follow. When you have a divergence between the two, where you're seeing your peaks going down, but your price is moving higher, generally you're going to have some sort of snap back. And I think, let me look real quick. I'm just gonna go here, new cycle trading. I'm pretty sure there's education. So new cycle trading, our trading view page has under ideas, has different education. It's all free for you to view. And I believe, yep, here's information on the AO, which is called the Awesome Oscillator. We did not invent the AO. The AO has been around for quite some time, but you can click on this and you'll see different items that you can look at with the Awesome Oscillator. With your declining bias, your rising bias, you have declining twin peaks, and then it talks about that all in here as well. The rising price, the price momentum divergence, that's what I was just talking about with the AO is declining, but the price is moving higher. And we have that example up here. So rising price, declining momentum, and then you can see price snapped back. So there's some great education on our TradingView page, New Cycle Trading in analytics. You can see about OOPS patterns, Bollinger Band snaps. There's plenty of some good education on here too. And much more put together than my quick run through of an AO. I personally like the AO. When we were in, it was a really awful stagnant market. 3 points was wonderful if you get 3 points on NQ, because the market just would not move. But at that time, what I found on a 5-minute chart is if the AO crossed the 0 line, either crossed lower or crossed higher, we would see some acceleration that was more than 3 points, and you could grab 5 points, which again, this was a very strange time. This is not the same market that we're trading in, but I could find that just trading a crossover, especially if I had a coordinating signal on my chart, there was about a 90% profitability rate to just jump in and jump out really quick with that 0 line crossover. We used to trade AO to AO, but that became very risky and had high reward, but also high risk to it, which is really where our futures trading started. And then we have this refinement to protect us, to really refine our entries. The URL to get here to that education, it's just tradingview.com/u/new cycle trading. If you're logged into your TradingView account, you can go up here and search for New Cycle Trading and just go to our profile, and you will see under the ideas here. Okay, I am not seeing any other questions out there. So I'm going to go ahead and end the Q&A. Kristen, do you have any last parting words?
I do not. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, so one last question will go to Paul. Paul's asking about the Cycle Finder Plus when both lines are above or below the buy zones. So when it's in the buy zone, which means that it's below this blue line, price is more likely to move up higher. When it is in the sell zone, which is above this red line, price is more likely to move lower. You can also go directly to our website and go to education. We have free education here. The AES and PFA videos. Let me see what I'm looking for. Here we go. Here's our indicators. View our indicators on TradingView. You can view Cycle Finder Plus. And then this is how Cycle Finder Plus works, how to use it. So when the Cycle Finder Plus trend lines are in the sell zone, and then the blue line crosses down below the red line, that's a signal that the market might move lower.
One of the things I'll add, just as we're talking about all of these different tools that are available, oftentimes in the live trading room, there are individuals who don't take every single signal that presents itself because of the knowledge that they've gained using resources like this or experience. They have added additional filters to their trading. So they may have found ways to interpret market and choose to stay out of some trades that the Aurora system presents itself, and admittedly miss some profit, but also miss some of the chop or miss some of the higher risk trades. And so the Aurora system has very strong signals. Our averages tell us that if we trade the system, we're going to be happy with our results over a 12-month period. There's always more to learn when you're trading, and more things that you can use to add to your to how you trade every day.
And whether you choose to trade all day or part of the day, where your profit target is, where your personal profit target is, maybe you're not looking for those 4-digit days. Maybe you're happy with $600 or $300 a day, and you just take a select few trades and then close your dome, close your charts, and are done for the day, and then come back at it the next day. All right, thank you all for being here with us tonight. We will send out this recording tomorrow morning, along with tomorrow afternoon. We will also send out to Aurora subscribers the webinar registration for the new Aurora PB indicator for next week. So again, save that date next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will go over the new Aurora PB. And again, if you cannot make it, we will send out a recording the next day. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your night.